Good morning. Yeah, it is official. Let's move this out of the way here. It's official. It's now officially 5 years to the day that the bodies of David, Kamel, and Rania were found. So today, I'm not sure, this evening we're going to go live at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Let's see what time it's about. Maybe 8 in the morning here now. A little bit after 8, maybe closer to 8:30. Hey Ellie, good morning. I think you're in a different time zone too. I think you might be an hour or two ahead of me, but just a weird kind of morning, a weird kind of day. So kind of morning in the morning, which is never good because we want to stay positive. We want to stay upbeat and just, not get discouraged, not get distressed about everything that we do know, knowing so much and then knowing how little the investigators seem to really care about it, and how little the family and friends, at least some of them, not all of them, because David and Kamel had a big family. Hey, I want to say hi to Grace. Hey Grace, thanks for joining me here. Okay, so Ellie, you're on the East Coast. Grace, what time zone are you in? So I think I want to make sure everybody, if you can join us tonight at 6 p.m. If you're not exactly sure when it starts, if you go to my channel and it'll be right at the top. If you hit the reminder button, that will let you know that the show is about to go live in about 30 minutes. So, but we still got plenty of time. I believe I think it's like 8 hours from now or something like that, maybe a little bit more. So it should be an interesting show. It looks like we're gonna have a pretty packed house of people that are joining us too, and I'd love to have anybody here. If you would like to join us, I can send you the call-in to the free conference call, and then that will just stream out to the YouTube channel. So it might be a little challenging with so many people on there, but I think it'll be good. I know Dan Hinnon is coming, and I know Sophia is coming, and Walter is going to be joining us. Christian might join us as well. Eric Spitfire Wilkinson might join us. So Stephanie will be joining us maybe, and Paulette, and maybe Patty, and maybe a few others, maybe even Pansy too. So if you would like to join us, if you're on Facebook, send me a message and I will make sure to send you the call-in number. It's been floating around there. Sophia has it, I've got it, a few other people have it, so we'll make sure if anybody does want to join into the call that you'll be able to join into that call as well. Lots to cover. I don't know if we're going to get to cover everything, but we do have a schedule. We have an agenda for maybe the first time. I don't know. We usually just kind of freeform it, and it's still very much freeform, but this, the preparation, as much preparation as we can do and say, okay, I want to make sure I have these photos in case we talk about this, etc., etc. Make sure I have these documents already pulled up, things like that. That'll make it a little easier. So I think I did miss a few people here that have joined us. Hey Jerome, thanks for joining us here. Appreciate that. Ellie, I want to call. Okay, Ellie, I will make sure I get you that information. That will be good. That will be awesome. So again, thanks everyone here for just checking in. 15, I almost said 15 years. It feels like 15 years. It feels like we've been looking into this for 15 years. And it feels like, I woke up this morning, the artwork for my book is done. It's very similar to the gray stage artwork that I had, so it's just kind of like a bigger version of that. So we're keeping it simple. Now I have the last chapter. I have to just proofread the last chapter. Once that's done, I submit the edits, and I might be able to get the book out by the end of this weekend, maybe by Monday. So really happy about that. And then of course, really, it's like, yeah, but it's such a sad case. It's like you can't even, I mean, it's not like, okay, this is great, I got the book out, you know, problem solved and everything. It's like, no, this is just the beginning. We get the book out, people can go through it, hopefully do some fact checking to make sure I didn't get anything wrong, make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm sure that I missed a bunch of stuff. Going through it, I'm like, oh, I could have talked about this, could have added this, could have added that, and I don't know. That goes back and forth with the the second book, and the second book will just depend on how far in the next 5 years. I don't know. Maybe 5 years from now, write another one. I have no idea. But I do think that it's still very frustrating that a lot of people just have not heard about the case, and more that we can get. These cars in California don't know how to drive, by the way. Apparently people don't know how to drive in California. So, but I will make sure to check the chat, and if anybody in there, if you would like to join into the call, I will send you the call-in number. You can also call in through your computer, as long as you have a headset, or if you just like to hang out in the chat, I would really appreciate that too. So try to get everybody's views. If you're just going to join in the chat, you know, just let us know your view on the case as the chat is live, and we'll make sure that we cover it as we go live. So hopefully we'll have somebody who can kind of help make sure that I don't miss any chats. I think that will be good too. But if Ellie joins us, one of the big things, documentary, Christian coffins don't be the possibility that David T. That's what he should do. Decided. I don't want his documentary, his series, I don't want it to be a response to the sloppy-mentary. I think the way that I believe that he's going to make it, it is going to be a response. People are going to take it that way. But as long as that's not the focus, as long as that's not the whole purpose, then I think that's going to be a great thing. It's going to be a big win-win for all of us. I've been testing out some new podcast software from Anchor.com, I believe, and Dan Hennon also uses that software, so he's going to help me test it out, and then we'll kind of go from there about a podcast and just making sure that crime, drama, and any filmmaker, anything like that. Maybe Aaron Russo, but couldn't really find that much on that on his death, which I thought was kind of weird. I mean, and it's just like they could just give you cancer, and all of a sudden, one day you're good, and the next day you're dead. They could have done that to David too. There's a lot of things that they could have done to David if they wanted to frame him, if they wanted to set him up. But the fact that what they did is just like it's baffling. Is it bait for us? Is it bait for conspiracy theorists, or what we just regular people? And I think they were not expecting the regular people. They were expecting all of the regular conspiracy websites and the regular conspiracy YouTube channels to come out and do their little spiel. Okay, we got the case solved, 15 minutes, boom, and then done. You know, and so then you have the real people that spent a lot of time and made a lot of videos and are just like, no, like there's something else here. It doesn't just have to be a government hit. It doesn't have to be solved in 15 minutes. You don't have to just make one video and then you kind of move on and never talk about it again. So, and I'm sure there are people out there who have done that were real people, that are sincere people, but I just don't think they expected us. So I'm really glad to have all of you here, to have all of you truth seekers, all of you people who clearly clearly understand that what the Apple Valley Police told us is just not true. It's not the whole story. It's not the full story. Now, one thing that will not happen on the show this evening at 6 p.m. on my YouTube channel, Pacific Time, West Coast, Greg Fernandez Jr., the channel you're on right now. But the one thing that will not happen that I wanted to is, I asked, maybe about a week or two ago, I asked the group members in the Justice for David Crowley and Family Facebook group, I asked if you could ask a soldier who served with David any questions, what would those questions be? Well, I took that list and I copied and pasted it and added maybe one or two of my own questions, and I gave that list to a soldier who served with David. And I was hoping to have the answers tonight, or at least maybe one or two, but we're gonna go ahead and wait on that until it's all done. But we will, in the future, we will have questions answered by someone who served with David, and I do expect that after those questions are answered, that there will be an opportunity for follow-up questions. So that's good news. And maybe, obviously we'll type out the answers and then we'll just read the answers at some point on a future show. But that is really good news. So if you have not gotten any questions that you would like to ask, if you have not submitted them into the group, or if you haven't contacted me about those questions, if you have questions, please make sure that you send those over, and I will try to add them to the growing list of questions for a soldier who served with David Crowley. And I'm very curious. Now, I don't know exactly how many tours or how long this person served with David. All I know for sure is this person did in fact serve with David Crowley. So we'll get more, and obviously that's one of the big questions that we did ask. So we'll get more answers on that as well in the coming weeks, most likely. I have reached out to Detective Jim Gummert, trying to get an image of the bullet hole in the living room ceiling on January 17th, the day the bodies were found. He was willing. He still is willing. He, after a long back and forth, he was going to check with the records department, and they found something for him. What Detective Jim Gummert sent me was an image of the bullet hole in the basement. It was item 45. It was not item 57. It was not related to item 57. So he sent me the wrong bullet hole. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt once again. And like Sophia said, maybe he didn't know. Maybe he didn't know that that wasn't the bullet hole in the living room ceiling. Maybe he mistakenly thought that the bullet hole in the basement was the bullet hole in the living room ceiling. So hopefully we'll have some more information on that. I'd like to get an update by the end of this day. We'll see. He's been very responsive to questions, so we'll see how that goes. So we'll see what the answer from Detective Gummert is. The records division, I don't know why they would give him a photo of the bullet hole in the basement and try to tell him that it is a photo of the bullet hole in the living room. That's a little odd, unless they didn't know. I thought my question was very, very clear. So after the Detective Gummert sent me the image of the bullet hole in the basement ceiling, then I responded back to him and told him that's not the right one. So he's going back and he's gonna go and check it and find it. They have to have it. They said that they had it. Now, if I think it was Detective Tommy Booth. I forget which detective hopefully we got the stream back here. I'm not sure what was missed or what was not, but that can happen sometimes. That's modern technology. So I'll keep you posted on those two things that I wanted to include this evening, but we probably won't. So even without that, we have a full list. We have a full cast here who is going to be joining us this evening. So I look forward to all of that. And yeah, it's 5 years, but it feels like more. It definitely feels like more. And I wonder what the family, what the friends, what do they think? What do they think for all of this time, for everything that has happened here? Let's see if I can maybe plug in this charger at some point. Hey, She-Wolf. Welcome to the show. So hopefully you guys can hear me. I know the stream cut out there for a minute or two, so hopefully it's back now and hopefully everything is good. I will try to see. Okay, good. Grace going to be joining us. Hey there, Zorik from the UK. Awesome. Thanks for joining us. Jerome says, I love Christian Coffins. Yeah, man, he's been great. Ellie says the slop is key. I will help and do whatever I can to help. Yeah, we're gonna. Okay, Grace says it's cutting out. Grace, let me know if it's okay now. It was kind of cutting out. And of course, cutting out when I was trying to make a very, very good point there. Grace also says, no matter what the outcome of this case, God knows the truth and they will pay. That's right. And that's the most important thing. God knows the truth. So that's where we're gonna start and that's where we're gonna finish here. Tell my phone, because I plugged in my charger, my phone's starting to move on its own a little bit. Let's see if I can adjust that. There we go. And this is what happens when you don't have a proper phone display on there. But I'll try my best here until I can get parked. At least, let me see what time it is. Oh yeah, plenty of time. Plenty of time, folks. Plenty of time. I'm just gonna adjust this. California, you cannot drive with the phone in your hands. Probably shouldn't be driving and chatting and talking, but time management. Manage the time, whatever you can do. It's important to do that. This case can stress you out. It can burn you out. Those things can happen. We are human beings. We are normal people. So again. So when Ellie joins us this evening too, we'll definitely talk about the sloppymentary, and I'm always curious to hear everybody's views on it, because it's such a wide range of people, and most of them are just like, at least the ones that I've chatted with, the ones who have commented, they're like, no, this is not a double murder suicide, and that documentary did not prove it was a double murder suicide. It did not lead you to think it was a double murder suicide. It might make you question, okay, maybe David was crazy, maybe his wife was crazy, things like that, but that again does not constitute as a double murder suicide. And if there was a pact, obviously, between Kamel and David, then that again is not a double murder suicide. It's a double suicide murder. And the motive is not there. The reasoning is not there. Unfortunately, the facts are not there. So that's what's baffling. Maybe the family and friends, maybe they don't know. Maybe they just do not know the real facts. So I'll make sure to send a copy of my book out to as many family and friends as I can afford to. And if hopefully they will read it. Hopefully they will take the time to look at the contents in there. Everything is sourced, so then they can check that source, read the documents. The documents are all available online, which reminds me, I still need to add the phone records, the financial records, and I think David's military record. Those three are not on my website, thegraystage.wordpress.com. Those three are not there yet, so I do need to get those up. Just timing. We have to manage our time wisely, and that is not wise time management, because those are very important documents that I want to make sure that if people want to go through them, if they want to look at them, that they have access, complete access to them. Sophia is going to bring up a very interesting topic, and it is something that I have looked at, and I'm glad that she looked at it. We did not, converse notes before looking at it. She came to me completely separate and was asking about it, and those are the things that I love too. And it shows, okay, it's not just me. It's like, okay, it's not just me looking at this. Other people are seeing this too. And when you have and I think you guys will all see it too. And then the bigger question will come in as to what it actually means. So that segment, I believe we're calling the hand and the blanket. So make sure you tune in for that part if you don't tune in for anything else. That will probably be a little early on. But then of course we'll go through some of the latest posts in the Justice for David Crowley and Family Facebook group. And I had a bunch of other things. I have 20 extra pages from my book that was taken out. So I figured, well, if we run into an issue where we don't have anything to talk about, I can always bring up some of that stuff. I don't know. We've never really had an issue where we didn't have anything to talk about. But sometimes we might go on and on. I might just ramble like I'm doing right now, rambling on and on about the same thing, about the same topic. So there is a lot to cover. So when anybody tries to come into the case, solve it within a couple minutes, for me, I just kind of tune out. You look at how many videos Dan has made, you look at how many videos Catherine made, and that's a real researcher. That's somebody that really cares. That's somebody that has taken time out of their schedule, out of their life, just to try to help people understand this case, to make some type of sense of this case as much as we can. So that's what I appreciate. All right, good peeps. I just wanted to say again, thank you all very much. I'll see you all here at 6 p.m. Make sure you are with us. Chat with you then.